So just as usual, we should begin with the relaxed state of body. So in fact, I don't need to advise you. I can see you all seems relaxed, at least physically. So at the same time, as we are relaxed here, physically, so if we are also relaxed and at peace mentally, then we say that we could say that we find ourselves, really in a relaxed state, and in another word, then the persons, who possess this both the mind and body, also then feel at peace, at relaxed. It is not that hard to actually to relax ourselves physically, but however when we have to focus on relaxing our mind, then it is not straightforward, and it is possible even if we are physically we are at rest, at relax, but our mind maybe cannot be at rest because mind may not be here at the same place where our body is. So there is when our mind is not at present, and then even if we are physically at present and we are at rest, and then we cannot really feel ourselves at rest and at peace. So there is real we can experience there is some these problems of how if our mind is not at rest, then we as a person then cannot be at rest. So there is so it is necessary for us to have some idea, some knowledge about now how to putting our mind into rest, into peace, and so there is need there, is necessary, and also at the same time the how it is necessary to or how it is we have to recognize the benefit or the importance of achieving this mental peace and relaxations.
Let them on they are, said them on they are. Wrongy led there was a wrong chair. Wrong said there was wrong chair direction. Something or Manso's was on Tilia.
So in here, there's one thing we need to focus is to the fact that how we all desire for the mental peace, mental happiness, as well as the physical peace and physical happiness, and this is something that without any doubt that we all seek for that, and then the next question is now how, when we think about how to achieve that, the mental peace and the physical peace and happiness, then first thing we have to be very understand or to recognize that it is really up to the individual. The responsibilities lies with the individual persons. No.
So today is that mother shark on and lit there, pen the shape. Lit there and then they got me. She a shape. Shark conscious songs on and down. Living shark and one and down. Say the songs on and down. So say the other pen the shape. Say the other and then they got good chasing, but don't good chasing. Knowledging under level. The little that they didn't be shit out and don't give shit out. And then met myself past year, but I think on the catch my shit out.
So then it's just our common sense, like how it tells us that if we, for example, if we wish for a healthy like a body or then we have to we are responsible, and then as well as we have to ensure that whatever activities or whatever actions that we create so are actually the cause to bring about this good health of the body, and to ensuring at the same time to preventing any actions or any deeds which are harmful to our physical health. So this we can understand with common sense. So in the same way, we also have to apply to our mind as well in terms of mental well-being. If we wish, desire for peace and happiness on the mental level, then again, we should have this clear knowledge, about what to accept and what to reject in our actions in terms of what we do to ensure the happiness in the mind and preventing any harm to our mental peace and happiness. So if we relying on our the rational or our intelligence, power of our mind, the knowledge that which is based on our own investigations, then it is very, it will become very clear to our mind. We can clearly recognize, really clearly, when if we wish to enjoy a good health of our body, then we will know what we should do to maintain a good health, and also to avoid the things which are harmful to our health, and so some kind of we'll be able to find some sort of discipline, some sort of practice that we can see is something very useful, something beneficial to our life as a whole. So in the same way, again, if you look at our mind in terms of maintaining the peace and happiness in our mind, and then again we can see these if through our own intelligent mind, through our own discriminating wisdom, so we can clearly see that the things there are certain things which are harmful to this mental well-being, and then the other which are good for safeguarding the mental peace and happiness, and so therefore when we take into account of listen to our own these intelligent wisdoms, then we can see in our life what we should kind of discipline, or what sort of the practice that we should apply, or how we should live our life. So in this way, based on this, as we just discussed early on, that based on our knowledge, and then we if we applied this into our practice in our life, then we can be definitely, then it will benefit us in terms of improving the well-being of both our mind and body. Yes.
Go said the mother, me go Jabati, me Kama said, me the Adam get it. That tells something. Me the Adam, me Kama sing it, roll in that, me Kama, me say, me then, and John me dirty. I don't have a mother. Me the Adam, total mother, me Duma said, total mother. Toto ya mati niba tong hando liwa. Today that go ja tig so ji or kanga se dewa jabala peba de go tig da some dead what ji tin le wa re de se
and so the meditation practice that where we show some interest in, so that's also we also have to recognize that practice as a suitable conditions to bring about the good the health of like a healthy mind and body, and so therefore in general we always have to think that as a human beings, that there are certain we face certain adverse situations, like certain difficulty in our life, and just by realizing that these difficulties are as something that is created by ourselves, or the result from our own actions. So therefore at the same time, this can be also overcome by by ourselves as a human beings, and so we have to understand how, as a human being, we also do have the potentials to be able to tackle various any difficulty that we face in our life, and not only that we have a potential, but also we all have the rights, in the sense that there's no one can stop us from exercising that basic rights to do that the things that is beneficial for oneself, in terms of the eliminating the difficulties, and in terms of achieving happiness in our life.
Rongi sedo kaza ya manson mo on roga senju roga kaza ya lupa roba teli jaja do ma se don se no le abu jine ga na ba tin wan tin no mi ba je la se jan de ta teli da se mi ba no mi ba je se ja ji de nganda tin se ko le nyo na le de say then say then say no me ba che ne ne le abo je de le ga se ne yuan tu ya na zo le ju ji de ga ne ba ne yuan chan ne shi ti ne ba ya me chan ne ba ne ti ti say jing ma ja say le yuan ma ju ga ti live there, so and Jason. He told that, saying the other, you second in the other, right? He told it, said I told you in the yeah, that's the day, little sand in Davidson, little children said or two. Little there, said la fedding. Said little fedding, when they didn't. You can't never have a thing, you put the way up when you want it. That's my motion, the dinner, that you eat, I'm going to go to a general. In the much easier, so I don't know.
So just keeping in mind what we've just discussed before. So we will we will do a short meditation together, and so for the meditation is it's important to always to begin with as much as possible to fully relaxing your body and just making oneself as most the sitting postures most comfortable and most suitable as possible. And so, of course, we don't have a time to go through the various the physical features of the meditation practice. And so then the next thing then also, we should direct our focus on the mind, and if then make sure that if our mind is very distracted in the sense that it is just all over the places, then it's important to try to get rid of that, all these scattered thoughts, and as we do this, then we let the mind the fully rest within ourselves, and then we can experience, in fact, when having, as we overcome or get rid of all this scattered or distracting thought, and as the mind begin to rest within us, we can feel some sense of peace and happiness, and which then it is, which kind of because when we talk of peace and happiness, it's not not enough. We find, outwardly or physically, we are at some sort of peaceful state. So therefore, how we can experience how when our mind become quiet, and then we can really experience these peace and tranquility within ourselves, and then we're trying to, as we begin the meditation practice, of course, we need to fix the mind or direct the mind on the object, meditation object, and trying to, as much as possible, to have a single-pointed, the single-pointedly, directed, or the mind on the object, meditation object, and so in this way, we can prevent any such like the distracting thoughts to arise in the mind, and also we can also, as we experience, as we rest the mind inward or on this meditation objects, single-pointedly, we can also experience how there is there's a whole there's some sort of total sense of peace and happiness that you can find, and which is really something that is the outcome of the of achieving the balance of both our mind and the body, like a harmony of the both in the relationship of both mind and the body, because as we physically we are at rest, at peace, and likewise mentally at peace and rest, and so therefore there is a we have to we can learn, we can understand from this such a experience of the meditation practice, that how even this when we talk about our peace and happiness, so it is something depend on the relationship of between the mind and the body, and when we speak with the body, it is just nothing but it is something which is constituted of different like four elements, and how when when we are physically at rest and when we mentally at rest, and how all this the elements becomes very all the four elements becomes very balanced and harmonious, and through this, so we can see how there is the mental the happiness is how it is some way is depend on the physical happiness, physical well-being, and also the likewise the physical well-being is also in order to experience that that depend on the mental peace and happiness. So we're going to do the breathing meditation practice. So in here, so really the objects upon which we focus our mind is the breathing, the in and out, and the tools or the conditions, favorable conditions to which would enable us to to meditate properly is effectively. So these are mainly the two mainly two, which are the application of the mindfulness and then the alertness. So these two are important to apply in the meditation practice. And so by applying these two favorable conditions, then what we overcome in meditation, which are the main obstacles or the main fault that arise in meditation practice are mainly the like the excitement, or which is a form of distractions, and the mental sinkings. And so we were able to overcome both these obstacles. So so therefore, just keep that in mind, and then also then to with this such understanding of the meditation object and the various what to apply, tools to apply meditation, and what kind of obstacles that one need to overcome in the practice. And then when we begin the actual meditation, it's always important to right at the start of the meditation to check one's motivations, and the best motivation so is to achieve, is to wish to achieve the complete or highest enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings, and then to think that it is to fulfill this this desire, this wish for the supreme enlightenment. Then think that you engage in this meditation practice, so which is to and through which to gain full control over one mind, and so therefore with this such the beginning with such proper motivation, then as we I explained before, then we trying to focus on your sitting posture, and then trying to relax the mind, and then we begin. So we begin, start the meditation now. too. Thank you. So as we follow the meditation practice, so there's one thing that we need to try to recognize and to understand is that there's some things within ourselves, that there is in the form of some negative state of mind, which is really serve as a true cause or the true source of experiencing mental unhappiness. So when we speak of our unwanted experience, such as unhappiness and certain problems. So it is not always something caused by the external external things and the events, external people or the event. So in fact, if we check, then we can find that the main cause, the main source is really something lying within ourselves, such as within, for example, how if we if we become angry, and then how the moment at that moment, the moment that anger arises, then we lose all our peace and all our happiness. And so at that, if we examine, then we can very clearly recognize how the anger has or serve as a cause to which can damage a lot of things that in your life, like your own happiness and so this is something that you can recognize, and then so therefore now at that point, having recognized that, then of course if you have also have familiar with the meditation practice, then you have to understand that the anger also, one of the primary cause of the anger is its object to which you which cause the anger to arise, and so therefore we, as understanding, recognizing that how if you cannot stop this anger, if you don't stop your mind from being engaged, from being in that object. So therefore it would if you're familiar with the meditation practice, if you have some understanding of meditation practice, then your practice, in order to overcome the angers, and you have to replace the object of your mind instead of to the object which instill anger. Then you have to think of the object which doesn't instill such anger, and so therefore from this perspective, we can recognize that how anger is also we should also identify our anger which is within us also a bit like an enemies and to us, and in a sense that if we think of the enemy, normally we only think in terms of the relating to certain something outside of certain the persons, and then external causes which brings which destroy our happiness, and we recognize, we identify that as an enemies. So in fact we will recognize that worse than that, in terms of destroying our peace, our happiness, and so forth, then even the far greater than these outer enemies, then is this this negative state of mind that which we arise within ourselves, such as like anger and the jealousies and so forth. So which can have a greater harmful or cause a harm and destruction to our life, and so therefore when we think of these of the shortcomings or the anger and so forth, which brings to our life, or in terms of destroying our desire, what we desire, what we look for our life. When we consider this, then we can recognize that indeed the main enemies, these are the main enemies, and whereas what we see in outside, these are all very secondary enemies.
She's what that's it. Then on the mega, not mega. Minute. Sono detto, wrong, control, road never see. Control the Padina, yeah, 10 Just a good, they got that 10, take it. 10 years, can never see thing on the not some border, control chair, market. They call it. Maybe control the part, those young, say, band over it. Call Mandeva to it, nobody children, church and Rome. Control Mamma, then call Mandeva, nobody church, so long on shining. Him Mandeva church, mother, so long on Mandeva, nobody church, on to church, telling you what. Some tennis on I want to go judge and me, because never my go my deputy got her, so no son nothing taking any opportunity.
So the so the meditation practice, so it's also, as we say before, it is a very effective means of eliminating sufferings and to achieving more happiness in our life. And so and in fact, with the meditation practice, so we will be, the overcoming the internal source of, inner source of our unhappiness, source of problems in our life. So as we just said before, and also it is in fact is said by the great Shantideva, that how the true enemy is within yourself, and so therefore when you overcome that enemy within yourself, then it will be also like an equivalent of conquering all the outer enemies. And whereas how if we do not overcome that, the enemy is something within ourselves, and then it will simply we will simply then confront more enemies, no matter what we do, and such as like how if we do not overcome in anger, then instead we only hold a strong like a resentment towards the person that you hate. And as we ponder on that person, what that person have done, and in terms of in a very negative way, more you think on that, then it will simply the ignite or simply make this anger stronger, and the flame of the anger to grow bigger. And so in this way, there's the it'll be very difficult to overcome that, and so when you look at that, the how the external things appear to be something desirable or undesirable. So it is more depends on your own perspective, your own way of looking, and which is to say, if you perceive the other external thing as something object of hatred, animosities, if you perceive it that way, then they do appear like that. And more you think on that, then there seems to be all the surrounding object and all the external things. Then there will be more such become undesirables. And so, whereas on the other hand, if we trying to change our way of thinking, to more something more in a positive way, such as like through overcoming. If we, for example, if you overcome the anger, and when you overcome the anger, then the thing seems to be, where the things, the external or the object appear to our mind, so it'll be more pleasant, and so in this way, the how if we through meditation practice, how as we not only we are able to enhance peace and happiness and certain positive way of thinking while we are meditating, while we're engaging meditation practice, but at the same time, how it has an impact on our, even when we are not meditating, on our way of thinkings and on our outlooks of our things, and so therefore this is what it's important, that the meditation practice is to understand it as something to training one's mind and to changing one's way of thinking from a very negative to a positive way of thinking. So the as a result of meditation practice, so we develop some certain knowledge which on based on our own experience, and such as how when we engage in meditation practice, so where we calm our mind inward, and trying to, as much as possible, we make effort to overcome all the influence of any mental delusions or any negative mental attitudes over our mind and our thought, and we try as to keep the mind completely calm, and so therefore we in the meditation practice. So as a result of this such practice, then we can somehow, as we are able to experience certain peace and happiness which really arise within ourselves, and which we can recognize is as a result of our the practice of getting rid of result of getting rid of all this the influence of negative state of mind. So therefore then we can see how we experience this peace and happiness in the practice, and then at the same time, then however later on, when we face certain situations and where if we lose our mind to the certain the mental delusion or a certain negative state of mind, then how immediately then as a result of that we experience some unhappiness, some disturbance within ourselves, and so therefore we can understand how the cause, the reason why we feel peace at one moment and then the very unhappy and very unsettled in the next moment. So we can see how that has got nothing to do with changing change in the externally. So rather, it is directly linked with this one's own change within the one's own mental attitudes. So I will continue this teaching on the three principal path which we started early on, and now we the three principal paths are the renunciations, and then the altruistic mind of enlightenment, and then the perfect view of emptiness. So now the first one, the renunciation, so which we already discussed about the meaning of that, what's the renunciation here in this context. So the meaning, so renunciation mainly is to is got a more on the positive connotation, in the sense that it is in aspirations. True renunciation is an aspiration to achieve the state of liberation from cyclic existence. So therefore it is the arising of this sense of renunciation. So really is contingent upon this, to our reflecting on this the suffering nature of this worldly or the cyclic existence, and as we contemplate on this suffering nature, then naturally we would wanted this thought of leaving this cyclic existence will then naturally will arise within us, and so therefore there's naturally will have this yearn for the state of liberations from cyclic existence will arise. So this is what the renunciation means. It means this wish or the desire or the aspiration to achieve the liberation from cyclic existence. So we will now continue on how to cultivate this sense of renunciations.
타바세 간데스 세그레 세케동만 되시자 타바세 간데스 세르시자 제는 나한테는 면주시는 해야 세금이 진짜 세사 왜요 거의 등원 막야 쉬는 만도 될 타바는 뭔데요 맞아 맞아 거의 등원 사제야 만도 되지 로이서 때에 저거는 내리시 등원요 막에는 나는 매일 내서 만 등원요 막에는 배치 보잖아 봐 내전 내제 내전 등원요 막에 내가 맛이 등원 맹게는 나도 가능시 보자 다서 대자는 코알을 타버려서 고자 때는 내가 맛이 등원 붙으면 개래 등에 제듯이 보라이다 손은 들이다 타바세 가래 대셔 다 들이다야 다 연주 제가 타바 토바 연주 손바지 키 제제는 로란 로기 시레셔 맞죠 타바세 제메 되는 용거야 절대 저 가를 때는 코로 톤데 손바 하나 나 되네 용거 말아 그래서 톤데 손바 Nenju Soma Shake, Nenju Soma Chima, my shed. Thereby, Jesu, Soma Kate on it, or Sabri Lava Tingas, Lava Tingas, that Shira Lava Senior, let's go to Tabato, Jimmy Yoma. That's it, that Tabato, you know, Taba Teni, Lord, that she Sena, that and a Taba Teni, Lord, she good. That she is the candidate and she agrees for that she is a shit. That's on.
So previously, we also discussed about the meaning, meaning of what does mean by nirvana or liberations in here, and as well as we discuss about the significance or the benefit of cultivating renunciations in our the spiritual practice. So the as we understand from the meaning of renunciations, so with the renunciation, so we wish or we desire for state of liberations, and when we achieve the state of liberations, then we are totally free from all the for any kind of like unwanted sufferings or miseries, and then we can imagine that is how wonderful that would be. Example, then whatever, like even if we can imagine if we find a form of life such as a human life, but if in that life if we are not subject to any kind of misery, any kind of sufferings, but only the bliss and happiness, and then it's something wonderful. So therefore, there is the renunciations. So therefore, is something which the is the aspiration or something which a desire to achieve the state of liberations. And now in order to we also have to understand that the state of liberation, in order to achieve state of liberation, so we have to be create the causes, the right causes and conditions, because the liberation is doesn't be bestowed upon us, without creating the causes and conditions. So therefore, it is important, in terms of the spiritual the development, how it is important initially to cultivate a genuine wish or genuine desire to seek liberations. Because if you do not have that real desire or intention to achieve liberation, then you won't be you won't have any interest in then to create the causes, to engage in the practices, to create causes. So causes for the liberation state of liberation are primarily can be included into this threefold training of moralities, concentration and the wisdoms. So, however, if there is no strong intention or a wish for the state of liberations, and then you won't have that, will not have such a strong interest or the motivations to engage in this the threefold trainings. So which are the main causes for liberations. So here, so we touch on this such word like cyclic existence, or which is also normally we use the term samsaras. So if you wonder what is the samsaras, what is cyclic existence, then maybe one way to think is you can consider that you are this body, this that you have, form of life that you have found now. So it is samsara. So this the body that we have acquired now, so it is also called as like the one of the five aggregates, the aggregate of form. So so we are, in a way, we are like born in this form of this aggregate of this form of human being, and so it's like, in a sense, we have come to to the cycle of this the birth in this form of the aggregate of form of human beings, and so this is so we have to say all the various types of the sufferings that we are subject to this in this life as a human being, such as right from the from the suffering in terms of the at the time suffering of birth, and then the aging and the sickness and the death. So all these are all almost like the inevitably comes with this when whoever the subject or acquired this kind of form of life, and so therefore this is something when how the sufferings arise or suffering become inevitable, that fact that how the when whoever acquires such body. So this is something that we can recognize, we can understand from our own experience.
다 단지 말이 봐 거지 님보 해도네 콜로 로시 해도 매지 때는 콜로 로시네 봐 이제 가자 너 요다고 많이 봐너 실제로 재미 자셔면 그 만점만 만네 그 나도 저만 듣는 만네 아데 당 만네 봐 나 로시를 제대로 동화도 시거래도 다 가자 롤 파연 롤 데마라스레 롤 데마레 다 단제 데 데레다 남에 도비다 남에 코야 다 남에 코 로이지 샤이르는 내 샤이르 다 선수지 넘어가고 이제 선수 넘어가다 로비지 이제 저거를 근데 너 띵엔서 녀마야 대소는 싫어하려고 아 싫어하려고 키거든요 다 어디 안 고대서 봐서는 타바타바 아 키죠 키셔야다 아 들리 손바지 동자는 내마시 이번 손도나 실제 되는 데다 좀 된다 타바 더 된다 또 그래 다 타바타 방어지나서
So as long as we we are subject to this the form, so the contaminated aggregate, such as this form of this the human life, and which is subject to various kind of sufferings. So in fact, it is like this form of life is like the heaps, heaps of the various suffering of cyclic existence. And so as long as we subject to that, so there is no no liberations from sufferings, and so there's there is a from the point of view of these four noble truths. So then there's a first truth, which is the truth of sufferings. So under that, so there's we can reflect upon the sufferings in so many different ways, such as like the suffering of the birth, aging, so forth, and also the various other categories of sufferings, like suffering of not able to meet with the desirable things, but the suffering of meeting with the something unwanted, undesirable, so forth. So as so it is said, it's important to reflect upon the sufferings and to recognize that wherever you whichever form of life you take you find in this within the cyclic existence, so to recognize that it is in suffering in natures, and there's no escape from sufferings, and so therefore as we recognize the suffering, then we will have the desire or a wish to be free from this cyclic existence. So that is and so with that wish, then we would naturally we will look. We have to consider what we need to do to free ourselves from cyclic existence, and so that's why the second the noble truth, that is the truth of the cause of the sufferings, and we reflect on that, and then there's a mention of the two main causes, which are the karma and then the mental delusions, which are the two main souls, or the true causes of sufferings. And then, however, when we look in between the true the karma or the action as and the mental delusions. So between these two, so the really the main one is the mental delusions, which is the main, which is the main cause, because it is because of the delusions, so we create the actions. And then again, furthermore, if we look into the delusions, then all kind of different delusion, but then this is all the delusion are rooted in our ignorance of self graspings, and so therefore really in order to achieve the state of liberation, so we have to get rid of, or to uproot this ignorance of self grasping, which is the source of all the delusions, and so therefore we have to consider, as we consider what is the way to is it possible to overcome or to eliminate this ignorance of self grasping, and then we have to understand whether such thing is possible or not. So it's depend on, first we have to understand whether to that the ignorance of the self grasping properties, to understand that the how, if we look at that, so it is something very misconceptions, or in a sense that our misconception that with regard to the way the ourself exists in realities. So with the ignorance, so the ourself exists as independently, or as if it we identified ourselves to have some sort of existence of its own side, or like independent or autonomous existence, and so therefore, however, if we analyze whether this is this reflect the ultimate reality of the way the self exists or not, and so when we realize that the I doesn't exist that way, there is no real support. We cannot validate such the way the I exists with the ignorance of self graspings, with a valid cognition, or a valid mind, state of mind. So therefore, when we understand this, so this is what we call as the truth of the path, and so in this way, the essentially, so in this very short forms, so if we have to achieve reach to the state of nirvana, then we have to internally, so we have to engage in the training of the moral ethics, and then as a basis, as a foundation, laying a foundation for our practice. So we have to engage in the practice of the moral ethics, and then on that foundation, then we engage in this develop the meditative concentration, and through this developed state of mental concentration, then we give rise to these the wisdoms which can penetrate into the ultimate realities of things, and through this we can overcome the ignorance of self grasping.
저거를 그냥 다시 거는 저거 하는데 제 거제 좀 지야 방도 뭐 좀 하시 아니 그냥 하시 고방에 제가 저가를 가 고방에 제가 로고 그 맞을래 예 아보야
So this there are in terms of the naming the Four Noble Truths. So there are different the order of naming these Four Noble Truths, but this order where we comes the first one is the Noble Truth of sufferings is listed first, so, and then the Noble Truth of the cause of suffering, and then the truth of the cessations to suffering, and then finally the truth of the path. So in this order, which is the order which suits or which is in accordance with the practice of the spiritual practitioners, so of the meditators, and so because it is in terms of the progress in our practice, so it's because it's important to first to recognize, to understand the sufferings, and so therefore the truth of suffering first, and then then after that, then you would focus on the noble truth of the cause of sufferings, and in order to abandon, with the thought of abandoning the causes, the sufferings, and then as we understand the possibility of abandoning or of getting rid of sufferings, so then we also understand, recognize that it is possible to achieve the third noble truth, which is the truth of the cessation of sufferings. So we understand that. So therefore, that's the third. And then finally, to make us realize that in order to achieve the state of cessation, then we must engage in the meditation practice. We must follow the path. So therefore, the last one is the noble truth of the path. Okay, so we'll leave the talk here, and we'll do the bit of meditation and then the chanting of the Buddha's mantra. So while chanting, so as much as possible to focus the mind just on the sound of the mantra by overcoming any distracting thoughts.